Did you know that McDonald's is considered as a real estate company rather than a restaurant business? And is no longer owned by the McDonald's family because they got backstabbed by their business partner. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mira E, and today I will tell you a story how McDonald's was founded and built its empire. The first McDonald's restaurant started as a small restaurant located in San Bernardino, California in 1948, opened by two brothers, Maurice and Richard McDonald's. They were the typical small American business owner back in 1940s, the generation that went through World War II and Great Depression, hoping to have their own stable small business as the United States began to restore its economy. These two brothers observed many industries and noticed one growing trend in the American food business: drive-in restaurants. Along with the growing adoption of personal cars, the so-called drive-in restaurant became a standard restaurant format in the small towns across the United States in 1940s and 50s. So, they followed the trend, opened a drive-in restaurant, and discovered some critical errors in this format. It's hella inefficient. The drive-in restaurant in the old days aren't like drive-thru in the modern days. First, drive-in restaurant requires a large open space like a parking lot so that customers literally drive in their car and wait until waitress comes to take an order, delivers a tray that has food, plates, and utensil, and get the tray back when customers are done eating their food in their car. So it's not like drive-thru that you pick up your food and leave. A drive-in restaurant basically provides the whole dining experience in the car. It was a very popular restaurant format back in the 1940s that McDonald brothers also earned $40,000 annual revenues in the first year. But these brothers spotted some core problems in this popular drive-in restaurant format through their operation and researches. First, it wasn't cost efficient. The land to accommodate customers was expensive, and there was a huge payroll hiring many waitresses who often deliver wrong food to the customers. And there were also dishware and trays that has to be prepared, washed, or replaced when those get lost. Second, it wasn't time efficient. The back kitchen was often a mess, and customers waited a long time in line, even longer when they get a wrong food. Lastly, most drive-in restaurant was considered the low end with unfavorable ambience, which brought down the brand's image and customer experience. There were flirty men customers killing their time to talk to the waitress, and there were juvenile delinquents hanging around the cigarette vending machine and jukebox located next to the restaurants. In conclusion, drive-in restaurants weren't for the families with kids. After seeing these problems, the McDonald brothers made a bold and entrepreneurial decision. They decided to shut down their business for 3 months to redesign the entire dining process. So Maurice and Richard McDonald brought chalks for drawing and a group of people to a nearby tennis court. Then brothers used chalks to draw the entire floor plan in life size on the tennis court floor and asked people to do a simulation of making burgers and french fries on top of the drawing like it's an actual kitchen. They repeated multiple rounds of drawing different floor plans and doing simulation with actual people on the site in order to achieve the optimal configuration. By the end of the day, they finally created a whole new system that made McDonald's early success and later revolutionized the whole fast food industry all over the world. Richard McDonald said it from the beginning that their goal is to reduce the customer waiting time of getting their food from 30 minutes to 30 seconds, which was a very advanced concept back then. So, what did they do? McDonald brothers made 3 optimizations. First, they simplified the menu. They originally had more than 20 products on their long menu, but they decided to simplify it into 3 different dishes: burgers, french fries, and drink, because they later discovered that 87% of their overall sales come from these 3 products. And later, burger, fries, and Coke became classic symbol of American culture. Second, they removed waitresses and made customers to queue in the line to get their food. This saved a lot of time from everyone and the cost for land and labors. Also, removing waitresses, aka hop girls, also solved the problems of young flirty male customers killing their time in the restaurant. In fact, the third optimization was to create a family-friendly ambience by removing cigarette vending machine and jukebox near the restaurants. It was during the baby boom, and McDonald Brothers wanted to create a family-friendly restaurant that many busy parents can easily bring their children to get a quick, delicious meal. Making these optimizations was the first turning point. The brothers named this revolutionary system as a speedy service system, and their business started to thrive, which became a very well-known fast food restaurant where many families bring their children. But this peaceful and beautiful state got broken by one person. What came next was Ray Kroc, who is known as the father of McDonald's later on. And as you can notice, his last name is not McDonald. He was a business partner that backstabbed McDonald's. Kroc was an ordinary man until he met McDonald's brothers. By the time he was 50, he was still a salesperson of a company. But Kroc was a true hustler with persistence. When he was 52 years old, he was selling a multifunctional milkshake blender, a machine that made 5 milkshakes at once, to multiple restaurants, and the business was only trading at most 1 or 2 per day. But one day, he received a call that changed his life. A small restaurant called McDonald's from California ordered 5 machines at once, meaning that this restaurant is so popular they have to make 40 milkshakes at once. When Kroc got a phone call, he felt like he has to check this out in person. It doesn't make sense. It's just unimaginable back in the days that what kind of restaurant will need to make that many milkshakes at once. So he drove all the way from Missouri to California, taking the Highway 66 to find McDonald Brothers in person. And when Kroc arrived in California, McDonald Brothers greeted them so friendly and showed the entire kitchen. After the experience, Kroc went back home to Illinois, and he couldn't stop thinking about McDonald's. He felt like this was a gold mine. So he eventually drove back to California to find McDonald Brothers and to ask for a job as a franchise agent for McDonald's. But McDonald Brothers, they weren't interested in doing a franchise business because they knew that it would be very difficult to control the food quality and the service. And they were just happy as a small business owner targeting a local communities, and that was good for them. But Kroc, he's a hustler. He's been working as a salesperson for past 30 years, and he knew that McDonald's could be a big chance. So he used his salesperson pitch to persuade McDonald Brothers, and here's a pitch. I drove through a lot of towns, a lot of small towns, and they all had 2 things in common. They had a courthouse, they had a church. On top of the church, got a cross. On top of the courthouse, they had a flag. Those arches have a lot in common with those buildings. A building with a cross on top. What is that? It's a gathering place where decent, wholesome people come together, and they share values protected by the American flag. It could be said that the beautiful building flanked by those arches signifies more or less the same thing. It doesn't just say delicious hamburger inside. They signify family. It signifies community. It's a place where Americans come together, break bread. I'm telling you, McDonald's can be the new American church, open 7 days a week. It was such a compelling speech that McDonald Brothers got persuaded, and they decided to work with Kroc, and Kroc got the right to open a McDonald's franchise. In the beginning, Kroc reached out to the rich, wealthy people to open a restaurant for the expansion, but later discovered that quality of the service was so bad. And he realized one thing. Those wealthy people, they're not interested in opening a restaurant and operating them to get a lot of customers. They only focus on invest money and get a return right away. So Kroc, he decided to target different people as his employee. He targeted a young couple who are willing to work diligently to achieve their American dream. And at the time, the business model between McDonald's and franchisee was this. People who join could choose a place, and then McDonald's will help him make loans, build store, and provide product and various standards. McDonald's collect 1.9% of sales from franchise store as a fee, of which 0.5% was given to McDonald's brothers, meaning that only 1.4% of fund was not enough to support McDonald's expansion. Although the restaurant opened more and more, the capital chain became tighter, and Kroc House was about to be taken away. At this time, a person very important to Kroc walked into his life. This person was Harry Sunburn. He suggested that McDonald's should be a real estate company. Sunburn said, if you want to build an empire, how could it be possible to charge 1.4% of a 15-cent hamburger? The best way for McDonald's to get bigger is to operate as a real estate company. You should first buy the land or lease it for a long time and then lease it to the franchisee so that you have a fixed income every month from the first month. Besides, McDonald's can also use this land to get a bank mortgage to continue buying more land. After land is over, you can continue to borrow and continue to buy more land. But by this time, McDonald brothers weren't happy working with Kroc. This real estate operation model and national expansion far exceeded their original plan and mission of opening McDonald's. But by the time, Kroc already had franchisee over 17 states, and his power was actually larger than the McDonald's brothers, who only had one single store in San Bernardino, California. And McDonald brothers knew that they could no longer reverse the situation, and even in the case of lawsuit, they could not compete with Kroc. In the end, they reluctantly asked Kroc to buy their store and McDonald's trademark for $2.7 million, which was considerable sum of money in 1961. What is even more disappointing was that McDonald brothers requested that in addition to $2.7 million, Kroc also gave them 1% of McDonald's annual profit in the future. However, Kroc said that new investor did not agree to write in the contract. He said, let us shake hands as an agreement, and I promise that this part of the money will be given to you in the future, but we will not write in the contract. And McDonald brothers took his word and agreed. But sadly, as I said from the intro, McDonald brothers got backstabbed by Kroc in a way. They never got the loyalty money, and their family do not even get the annual profit of the 1%, which will cost billions of dollars. And because no one could prove that this matter really was discussed, they could not even fight for the lawsuit. So this was an episode about how McDonald's was founded, and the founder kind of got backstabbed by their business partner and grew as a big empire of the world franchise restaurant. And if you guys like this video, please press like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video.